What's going on, folks? This is Sleep in the Class. As y'all probably know, there's been a whole bunch going on in the media between the Mike Brown case, Eric Garner, George Zimmerman, things of that nature. And we just wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about it, us being black males. So
they're the three most blown up events in the media as of late, and by late I mean past couple of years. And then the Trayvon Martin case, George Zimmerman, he admitted to shooting Trayvon, but he said he did it in self-defense. And the details of that case were kind of shaky. Nobody knew if Trayvon actually ran up on George Zimmerman and attacked him, whether it was actually self-defense or not. He got off kind of basically off of the gesture that there wasn't enough evidence, which is what has been a recurring thing. There's not enough evidence. So really what I'm trying to figure out is where's all this evidence going? It's like especially in the other two cases, there's a lot of evidence, a lot of witnesses. With all these witnesses, like, how come we can't get a clear story? That's just what's...
Yeah, and even when there is evidence, like this George Zimmerman one, when he said, like, he admitted to doing it in self-defense, yet there was also the evidence that he took these kickboxing classes, right? Mm-hmm. So if he did it in self-defense and Trayvon Martin's a teenager, that doesn't make sense. If he's coming at you and you're this big guy who takes these kickboxing classes, how is there a need for a gun in that self-defense situation, as he calls it?
If I remember right, he also was admitted to having followed Trayvon at some point. Yeah, like he trailed him because he looked suspicious. I mean, if you're looking for trouble and you find it, you have to be at some kind of fault. Like, that was none of his business.
He was out of his jurisdiction as he was following him.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, he was way out of his jurisdiction. Like, these kind of cases, they really make me mad in a way because of, like, the lack of evidence, the way that it's handled in court and everything.
The lack of common sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Just, like, for the Eric Garner case, like, there's video and everything.
There's video evidence
of this man being placed in a chokehold and choked until dead. Like, choked until dead on video. And this man still gets off.
I just saw something on CNN today saying that the chokehold isn't even a move that they teach to cops.
Yeah, it's not regulation. He was not supposed to use that move.
So this chokehold, like, for one, like, that being caught on video itself should have been a warning sign.
And you know what's even worse? Like, this is just the stuff that is popular right now. Imagine all of the things that are going on right now as we speak that aren't being aired on TV.
Now that there's a lot of them being put in the media and, like, people are being made aware of it, like, it makes you question just, like, how safe you really are.
One of the big hashtags going on around now is I can't breathe, because that's what Eric Garner was saying as he was being caught up in the chokehold. Now, a lot of people who are against Eric Garner are saying, well, if you can't breathe, then how are you saying you can't breathe? And therefore, the choking wasn't that serious, and therefore, it's dumb stuff like that. That's where
so stupid.
If you are having difficulty breathing, are you gonna say, I'm having difficulty breathing? Or are you gonna say, I can't breathe? Like, it's a simple...
Like
it's
that
just...
shouldn't even come up.
It shouldn't even go up.
He died.
He died. And then the autopsy report reported it as a homicide due to choking. And then they tried to bring up the fact that he's a big man and probably suffered from a heart problem.
The probablys. Why are the probablys being brought up? Like, we have the autopsy. And then it's like a situation like that, it makes me think that people are really sick enough to take his death and make a mockery of it. As a matter of fact, I know they are, because there's a video of a news reporter reporting on the situation. I'm not even sure if she was actually reporting on that. But you see a couple come up behind the news reporter while it's being live and filmed, and they reenact Eric Garner's death. Like, the man just chokes the lady, and they're laughing about it as if it's something funny. It's like, how can we even consider, like, the opposite argument to be valid when his death is being made a mockery of. It's like, no, there's no argument against it. You all don't even care about this man's life if you're willing to sit there and do something like that. It's like if you were actually, taking into effect that no, maybe he was assaulting the police officer, or maybe like the police officer was just doing his job. But now the man's death is being made mockery of, and that's just sick. So,
and then the question that brings up is, what is the proper response to a situation? You have an issue and the police come and they instantly try and take you down. You don't move, you don't fight back, you don't do anything, and they're actively trying to kill you.
Yeah, that's like the video that surfaced right where we're from. Well, the state we're in right now, South Carolina. In Columbia, the capital city, there was this video of a guy at a gas station, and the cop stops him while he's in the car or in his truck, tells him to get out and show him his license. And as the guy is reaching for his license, he gets shot. No questions asked, just shot. And then the guy, clearly in pain, says, "I was just reaching for my license, man." And
Can I see your license, please? Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
I just got my license. You taking my license?
Like, what do you do in that situation? You did what you were told.
exactly.
And you still get fired at. It's kind of scary. Like,
It's like, do what I tell you, but not in a way that, I don't know, that scares me because you're doing what I told you to do. I don't know. It's like, it's confusing. It's like,
yeah, it really makes me wonder, like, what other things that we don't report about in social media, like, there must be a ton of things that we don't discuss normally that we just pass over, that is just blatantly either racist or just inopportunistic for like our society. Like what situations have we as a collective seen that we haven't really reported?
Well, me personally, I have a lot of experiences with injustice, or I can't even call it injustice, because I mean, I don't know what was on some of the cops' minds when they stopped me randomly in the street, in my car, in my house. Just I've had a lot of run-ins with law.
you can't just glaze over that.
In my house. Okay, well, let me explain the situation, because it's kind of like a two-part story between me getting caught on the street and not caught, but stopped on the street, and then they came to my door afterwards. It was Halloween, and I guess the police had gotten some reports about people throwing eggs. That's a little, I guess, a thing people do. I was walking from Walgreens back to my house. I walked to Walgreens, I think, to get I can't remember. I think it was milk or something. I can't remember. But I was walking back, and I had a book bag with me because I didn't feel like carrying it in my hand all the way back. And as I'm walking, maybe about like 2 blocks before I get back to my house, a police car speeds past me with the lights on. I don't pay it any mind. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. And it was speeding past me, and somehow, like, before I got to the end of this block, the police officer had turned around the corner, 2 corners, made a full rectangle around the block to cut me off at the intersection before the next block. So they get out the car, and I just stop. I'm like, what in the world is going on? Like, I'm not doing anything. I'm completely confused. And they come up to me, and they're like, we have reports of people throwing eggs around here. I want to know if you knew anything about that. And I'm like, no, I don't. And ironically enough, there's a group of guys across the street. Like, this story is like too crazy. It's like too perfect, like, to even be true. But there's a group of white guys across the street, all dressed in all black, with book bags, and they're just, jollily prancing around the block, and I'm sitting here getting in regular clothes. Yeah, I have a book bag or whatever. Walking back, and they didn't even pay them any mind. It's like, and they were being loud too. Like, I knew they their presence was known by the cops. Like the cops knew they were there. But
They probably said, "Man, how am I gonna wash this egg off me, man?"
so they asked me a few more questions, and then they proceeded to search me. I didn't know my rights or whether or not that was allowed then, so I'm just like, okay, I know I'm not doing nothing, so I let them search me, and it was a pretty thorough search. I felt kind of uncomfortable. They went through my bag, took everything, dumped everything out.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just, and all the while, like, paid no attention, like, directly across the street. I'm almost positive it was them. Like, it was just too good to be true. But and then I go back home, whatever.